morning, everyone, and welcome to the third day of our virtual Great American Teach-In. And we are
I can't hear you. Hello? Hello?
Hi, everybody. I think we had a small glitch, and I apologize. I am going to do the introduction again. I am here with Humberto Arguello, and he is a full-time Pasco eSchool student, and he is also the CEO of Bay Promo. He was born in Managua, Nicaragua, and he has started his own company while also going to school full-time. If you have any questions during our presentation this morning, please text them with your name to 813-330-0176. Again, 813-330-0176. I'm glad we got our little glitches taken care of, and here we go.
Good morning, everybody. It is a pleasure to know that I have a dedicated audience viewing my presentation and curious about my life and everything I've done so far. About me, well, I'm 17 and a half years old. I'm Cancer. My birthday is July 6th. And as Mrs. Stern said, I am a full-time Pasco eSchool senior in May. And I am also a business owner. I am kind of 15 people in one. Golfing, outdoors activities in nature, and I thoroughly enjoy spending time with my family and friends and always discovering new places. All my life, I have always valued hard work to reach my goals. And up to years old, I used to be a very overweight kid. That cost me a lack in self-confidence. And my whole life, up until I was that age, I believed that other people would always be better than me to others. And I would say, oh no, she can do it. She's gonna get it, and I can't. And one day I moved on May 7th of 2010 to Panama City, Panama. And I decided that when I was starting that new life, to see me for the person I saw myself in Nicaragua. So I decided to stop eating, start exercising, and in a year, I lost around 75 pounds. My life was as if I were standing in a revolving door after a 360-degree spin. It changed that dramatically because now I was happy and I was comfortable with the person I was. In the mirror, I saw an individual with potential, an individual with promise, an individual that with work could accomplish his dreams and supersede his own expectations. Ever since that day, I have been always challenging myself to do more. That was my first challenge, defeating my self-deprecating inner voice. After that, I was 14 years old. My country started to get a little bit unstable. I was in the height of my academic career, I'd like to say, because I was doing Model United Nations, I was doing debates in English and in Spanish, and I was being very successful in student council and a lot of different things. But at that age, unfortunately, my country's government became very unstable, and my parents' economy was badly hurt. Back to Nicaragua for a year, and after that, for another year, at 16 years old, I came for my junior year to Tampa, where I studied in Sun Lake High School in Land Lakes by State Road 54. After a year of being in Sun Lake, I got one job, I got two jobs, I got three jobs. I started out as a bagel boy, and I did bagels, coffee, smoothies. I did everything, you know, that 15 people in one concept. After that, I got a job as a cashier in Philly cheesesteaks at the outlet malls. And then I had a third job as a retail associate in Ralph Lauren. Of working under other people, I started to pick up. I realized that my time, how I invested my time, could potentially be so much more if I put my brain to work instead of putting my hands to work, which is not bad because everybody has their trades. But I said to myself, hey, in 9, 10 hours, what you do right now in 3 hours, you could do 15, 20 times more. So in June of this year, June 12th of this year, after being about 3 years into our financial crisis, I decided that it was enough. Because one day I was working and I was folding clothes in the outlet store, and it was in the hardwood floors. And my managers were always very, very unappreciative of my work. And I always tried to work harder and harder and harder to get more hours and save more money and make more money. And in summer, I'm working there one day, June 7th. And this was kind of my climax, my epitome, my epiphany moment in my life that has led me to do everything I've done in the past 6 months. I was folding clothes, and I looked at my shoes, and I had shoes. I had a hole in my shoe. I was there folding the clothes on the hard floor, kneeling down. My knees hurt. I'm tired. And I just started thinking, I need to get a car. I need to go to college. I need to buy all these things. And my last paycheck was $120. And I'm working hard, and they won't give me more hours. So I went to the mirror, and I went out to the bathroom and took a break, and I started crying. And I slapped myself across the face in the mirror. And I told myself, you are Humberto Manuel Arguello, the fifth of your name and of your generation. And you are not going to allow to tell you what you are going to do, where you are going to go. Your life is going to leave an impact in all the other people's lives you come across. You are going to get out of this, and you are going to rise stronger and better than you were before. I grabbed my mic after that, and I gave it to my manager, who was mean to me. And I said, I quit. And when I come back here, I'm going to be a paying customer. And I started looking investor after investor, and I started thinking, what business can I do? And well, before my parents got into this financial crisis, since I was 13, I had been working in that family business, which used to be promotional products, which is what I do now. And since I was 13, I would sell to the clubs in high school for field day, the t-shirts and everything. So a year or two, I picked up on the industry before my parents decided to shut down the companies in Central America. and moved to the United States to find employment because of the situation in our country. I had learned the industry, and that day after I quit, I said, "Hey, I'm great at speaking, I'm great at selling, people like me, and this is the only industry I know." So I went on multiple investor platforms online, and I set up meetings with different investors, financial firms around the Tampa Bay area, and 90% of the people didn't take me seriously to invest on me. Business partner month in the past 4 or 5 months, between June 12th of this year, to supply the National Guard. We've gotten into government purchase, an active federal contractor under SAM, System Award Management for the government. And I serve national corporations like iHeartMedia. And I'm working really, really hard to break into the market and fulfill my vision. Cause as to why I did this, why I didn't just follow the path of many other people, just keep working hard in your job and graduate, go to a really good school, wait my 4 years, get a good job. The reason why I did it was because my parents, before my parents, we had to go through this financial crisis. I have always had the blessing from God of being brought up in a very stable, financially, a very financially stable family. And when this happened, I had ever had to live through need, through the worrying of not being able to make ends meet, through the worry of having to see my 67-year-old father drive Uber for other people when I've always had chauffeurs, through having to see my mother work in a fast food shop when we had maids cook for us in Nicaragua. And that broke my heart because my parents were in a vicious cycle where they couldn't help themselves because they couldn't wait to start a company or start a business venture and wait until that business venture produced enough. Because for those 3, 4 first 5 months, producing, so somebody has to pay those bills. So they were never going to get out of this. And I said to myself, I just can't handle, with everything he's done, all the kids he's raised in his life, looking at my mom busting their butt from 6 in the morning to 9 p.m., 10 p.m., driving for other people out there in the road. It's dangerous. I can't allow that to happen. So the reason why I started this company was not only to stabilize myself, but it was to help my mom and my dad recover and have a good life where they're stress-free. And today I'm very proud to say that last month, tell my father that he didn't have to work anymore. And now I'm taking care of him because he took care of me. So I have accomplished a lot in my life, and what I want for other people to, what I want to communicate to other people, what I want other people to understand is, don't look at someone like me and feel intimidated. Don't, did you do it? No. How are you? Because if I did it after that day, in May 7th of 2010, that went downhill, I went through depression with all the problems. I went through not believing in myself. I went through bullying. I went through identity issues, financial issues. In one, if I was able to see the light, if I was able to see the clarity, through all my problems that were really tough problems. And I was able to see that light through all that murkiness and come out and render victorious. You can do it as well. And anybody out there, this doesn't apply to just money or success professionally. It applies to whatever mental obstacle or whatever kind of situation you have right now in your life that is bringing you down, that is not allowing you to become that person. Life is a great journey. And although I'm only 17 and a half, I feel like I'm 65. I've lived these past 4 years. I seize my day from the moment it starts to the moment it ends. Something. And if I can tell all of you one thing, just please don't look at successful people and feel intimidated like you can never do it. Believe in yourself because you can do it as well. It just takes time and work.
Humberto, you have an amazing story.
Thank you.
If you would mute your speaker a second so I can ask the question without the feedback, that would be awesome. And our first question that we have is, what advice can you offer to students who would like to begin a business? The first steps.
Can I go now? Okay. Well, it's complicated, but it is not as complicated as you think. Every business eventually the same. Like a club in high school. You set up your legal structure, you incorporate your business, and all of this can be done through easy platforms online, like LegalZoom. You can legally make a company, the legal documentation of a company in 50 minutes online. It costs around $350, but it's doable. You don't have to worry about going to the registry. It's not like that. Everything right now is simplified due to the virtual era. An advice on how to start your business. Yes, the structure for every business is the same in the sense that every business is an entity dedicated to provide a good or a service in return for revenue, which internally you subtract cost and the difference profit for the company, and then you decide for that profit how you're going to break it down and then how much you're going to take home. So that's essentially the gist of it. But to start a business, the most essential thing you have to find a demand. So any seniors, you're studying microeconomics, find the demand. Once you find the demand, finding the supply is easy because there are thousands of businesses. So once you find the demand, something that people want, something that people are using, something that is not, for example, an automobile, because that's a very difficult industry to get into, but something that you see that people are using on their day-to-day for different things, whether it is in their job, at their house, while they're driving home. Just try to find something that people need, and then you can work on finding the supply. That is my answer.
Awesome. When you started your business, did you have any type of money to start? Like, did you save money to start, or how did you, kickstart your business?
I kickstarted my business. I did not have any capital. As I was saying, my parents were in a hole financially, and they had no capital. So it was a business to help them, so they couldn't help me. What I did is that I went on investor platforms. So you can literally Google find investors to start a business, investor startups events, and thousands and thousands of different organizations that want to support youth entrepreneurs, different financial firms that are in it for a profit. There's tons of people out there with money that don't have the industrial part. What I mean by the industrial part, I do, is that spark of visioning, processing and administrating, because that's the tough part. In the business, there's who puts the money and the money part, and then there's the operational part. A lot of people that have cash are looking to invest in people that are operational. Value in the market is how good you are at an operation, how good you are at running and structuring and delivering that operation. That at something, whatever trade it is, you can make money off of it. And if you need capital, go on Google, go online, find different organizations. People are always looking to sponsor entrepreneurship amongst youth.
That's pretty awesome. It's amazing what the power of Google can do to help facilitate new business.
Yes.
Talk about your life as a Pasco eSchool student.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, but I didn't hear what you said. You cut off.
Oh, sorry about that. Talk about your life as a Pasco eSchool student.
Okay. I've always been really involved in high school. So this is my first year on online school. But freshman year, sophomore year, and junior year, I was in brick and mortar high school. Fun fact, I've gone to a different school every year of high school. Freshman year, I studied in Panama City, Panama, in Balboa Academy, which is an international school. Sophomore year, I studied in American Nicaraguan School, which is another international school in Nicaragua. Junior year, I studied in Sun Lake, and senior year, I did Pasco eSchool.
Wow, that's a very diverse education.
Yes, I have. That's why I have so many extra credits. I have more credits than 3 people need, because I've been through so many different curricula
Sure.
that they just built up. So my life as a Pasco eSchool student, I used to be more involved before. I've done last year. I had a Model United Nations chapter that I run. I went to the conferences. I went to Harvard Model United Nations 2 years ago. I've done student council, the whole 9 yards in student involvement. This year, unfortunately, because I have to meet my demands, I'm not as involved in the extracurricular part. But as a Pasco eSchool student, being able to log in to my classes and work on my classes wherever I am, such a facility, and it just makes my life possible. Because if I didn't have this platform, I couldn't be doing what I'm doing. I couldn't have the flexibility that I have with everything that I have, which in business you have to be flexible, because if a client comes and they want something, it has to be right here, right now. If not, they go to the next person down the block. Pasco eSchool has definitely been a huge add-on on my life, and all the staff are extremely welcoming. The student council, our senior student council, Jada Abbas, Brandon, great intentions, and they want to do a lot with Pasco eSchool, and they are amazing as well. They're going to do a lot. So I've had a really positive experience with Pasco eSchool so far.
What is your plan for after high school?
My plan for after high school. Okay, so after high school, I have 7 more months until graduation, and I'm so excited. Um, and my plan for after high school. Okay, so my business, I've been running it since June, right? By the way, this is my company, so you guys get an idea, because I didn't show you. And I'm establishing my clientele in the Bay Area. A lot of showing your face, making personal connections, so that people like you and trust you, and you establish a name, will want to do business with you. So I'm working on establishing my clientele and my name here in the Tampa Bay area, and I think that I'm going to remain here for a year, one more year, and attend the University of Tampa for a year or 2. Or I was recently in Orlando, and when I was in Orlando, I've noticed how much hustle and bustle it is, how hectic it is, and I noticed there was a huge financial movement in that city. So since Orlando was so close, I was thinking I could maybe move to Orlando, be 45, 50 minutes away from Tampa, and go to school in Rollins College. Uh, I'm still undecided. It all depends on where I am financially and with my clientele here, where my business is at in April. I'll make
You can definitely, either market is a great market. There are a lot of new companies coming to Tampa.
Yeah.
So, to go back and forth, both colleges are fantastic.
Yeah.
Would you major in business, I would assume?
Since, like I was saying before, I've always enjoyed speech. I love debate because I love to win. And always thought I was either going to be a politician or a lawyer. That just gives me such an adrenaline, such a rush. Like when I close a deal or when something pans out, see the results. It's just so fulfilling that I think that I want to go on and professionalize what I'm doing with a superior education in entrepreneurship, global business, and then I would want to become like a top Fortune 500 CEO. That's my goal before I die.
That is pretty cool. If anybody has any further questions, please text them to 813-330-0176. I am here this morning, Mrs. Stern, talking with Humberto Arguello, and he is a full-time Pasco eSchool student as well as entrepreneur, and he has been sharing with us this morning about his path and how he has gotten to where he is. Again, if you have any questions, 813-330-0176. Humberto, what's the best thing that you would say you produce? Like, you've got all these promotional products. What's your most favorite?
Okay, I'm gonna make a 30-second pitch before on what it is that I do for everybody who's listening so that they understand. So my company is called Bay Promo. I named it Bay Promo, of course, for the Bay Area to give it that community feeling, and promo for promoting. This is my magazine, the Bay Promo Experience. And if anybody wants a copy of this magazine, I'll gladly email it, or you can get it from my website. So it just kind of goes over what we do. And I want to show you a picture that signifies what I do in one picture. Your brand here can place an imprint on over 70 million products. I have over 2 million products in stock, ready to print, that I can place your logo, your face, your image, your text on, and I can have in your hands within 5 to 10 business days. And I am able to outsource through 2,500 American manufacturers of all kinds of products, everything from food, apparel like shirts, hoodies, jackets, like pens, pencils, and etc. And then I'm able to outsource through 3,500 international firms from a global trade show I go every year in Hong Kong. And it's called the World Ads Specialty Gift Show. I'm able to outsource through products and over 3,000 factories situated across China. So I do a lot of overseas importation. My trendiest object right now is going to be the Pop Socket grip. This is a grip for your phone. Everybody, of course, knows what it is. It's also a stand, and then this goes on your dashboard, and you stick it on the dashboard. And your phone right on there. So this, I've done a lot of this for the Mississippi National Guard. We did 30,000 of these with their logo. I've done this for food companies like PDQ, and a lot of them love this because we ran a case study. Well, one of my manufacturers ran a case study in this product back in 2016, and with over a pool of 25 companies in the Tampa Bay area, they had a result. They gave 1,000 of these to each company, and those companies gave those out to their customers. And then they did a pooling, a survey. They did a survey, and they calculated and discovered that when you gave one of these to your customers, the customer you gave it to had a 55% increase in callback. What do I mean by callback? In retention rate is that if that customer is already a repeat customer, 55% more likely that they are going to call you for the same service again. And then we had a 25% increase in brand loyalty. Brand loyalty meaning that they are only going to want to use your company, and a 15% increase in the power of referral. So this has your logo in the back of all the people who you give it to, in the back of their phone. So when you pull out your phone, this is a trendy item. Somebody asks you, oh, where did you get that? Oh, Bay Promo. Oh, Morgan AC. Oh, PDQ. So obviously that person is going to go to that business to get one. And then it keeps your name in the back of their phone. So whenever they need your service, so it's a great item right now, and I'm selling these like crazy.
That's pretty cool. And I have a pop socket on my phone. However, the clip that you put on your dashboard, that's a nifty attachment. I like that.
I'll have to get
you. So we do have a question, and the question is, did you design your website, or did you have a company do it?
No, I am actually, so for the promotional products industry in the United States, there is an association called the Advertising Specialty Institute. That association links the inventory of over 2,000 US factories, Commerce Live Connected. They have a search engine where you can filter through materials of the items you're looking for, price, the category, like whether it's food, drink, etc. So they provided me, because depending the different levels of membership you get, I got the platinum one, and they provided me with a built-in website that has a built-in search engine. So if you go on my website, you can browse over 1 million promotional products, and you can even classify them by the industry you're in. So if you're a car business, you can put, or if you're looking for something that's shaped like a ninja or has ninja themed for Neo, for eSchool, you can put ninja. So they provided me with that because it has that special feature for my kind of business.
That's pretty cool. I have some questions. I just have to open up the image that was sent to me.
Okay.
What are your daily tasks that are involved with your profession?
Oh, wow. Okay, so first thing is getting sales, and the second is processing the sales, and the third is administrating. So day to day, I wake up at 5 a.m. every day. 5 to 6, I'm checking my emails, see what new products have come out so that I can target those products to different niches in the market. And I contact the overseas factories. I go to different networking events, like the one I was just at, the BNI, Business Networking International, to meet people, connections, and get business. You know, for example, I just met a guy that does insurance, and I was like, oh, I need an insurance policy for product liability. And he was like, oh, really? I need some pens. And we clicked. So that's a huge part. Then I go visit customers. So I'll have a meeting scheduled almost every day, business lunch or an evening meeting, and I'll probably go over a proposal with them. So my tasks are to get the sales by going out to events, by picking a list of businesses once or twice a month and going to visit them with different marketing material. Then number 2 is finding items. So I have a huge database of all the items and of all the different people who produce these items. So I make proposals of 25, 30 different ideas. So if you tell me, hey, I have a company that does service calls, and I'm looking for something to give away with my company's logo so that these customers can remember my company and use my company more. So I'll come up with a proposal of different ideas. That's step number 1. You'll tell me what ideas you like. Step number 3, I'll send another proposal geared to those ideas. Step number 4, I'll grab your logo and make a virtual design, a virtual sample. Step number 5, once you like it, I give you a column pricing presentation with the different columns for different quantities. So 250 pieces, 500 pieces. And then step 6, I'll make a quote in the proposal. Now we go into steps 1 through 7 for the second phase, which is the sales follow-up. This is where it is my job to call, email, visit, call, email, visit, call, email, visit, so that I can make sure that I make that proposal and I put it through my sales funnel, and it becomes from a proposal to a sale that stands for cha-ching, dollar sign.
Another question that we have, you have quite the busy day. What impact do you have on the community or in the community?
Impact, okay. There's different kinds of impact. I guess that I don't understand the question. Like what kind of impact do you mean?
Let me ask.
Yeah, like is it like a social geared impact, like a business impact, a personal impact? I'm so happy that we have so many questions.
Jamil, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Could you tell us what kind of impact? While we're waiting for that extension of the question, how many countries have you visited?
I have been in Nicaragua, Panama, Costa Rica, Honduras, Guatemala, San Salvador, Grand Cayman. And then, okay, so eight or nine. I'm sure I'm missing one or the other. But in the U.S., I have been in Florida, Virginia, West Virginia, in California, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Rhode Island. I've been to a lot of states here. I had the blessing that my dad, my sister used to play a lot of golf, so she would go to a lot of tournaments, and my dad would always make a 2-day vacation whenever she went on a tournament.
Very nice. The clarification was for what social impact?
Social impact. Okay. I guess an example is, can you ask me the question again? Is it on a day-to-day?
What kind of impact, what kind of social impact do you have in the community?
Do I make in the community? Okay. So for example, I made a social impact right now. I have a lot of friends in the University of Tampa, just like hangout friends. I have 2 types of friends. I have hangout friends and I have business friends. Just a regular friend, college student, have nothing to do with business. And I was hanging out with them one day at University of Tampa, and girl from Myanmar, from Burma, Sabrina, that she immediately when she met me, she's like, "What do you do? Do you go to UT?" And I'm like, "No, I have my company, etc." And she's like, "Oh, really? Can I get an internship?" Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, "Yes, of course, let's meet." I have made on her. I not only gave her an internship, but my social impact on her was that I'm teaching her how to be self-sufficient. And if God forbid the day of tomorrow, to support her, she knows what to do to make ends meet by herself. I guess that is my social impact with the different people I work on. I spread a lot of my work ethic, which is, see what you want and get it. Go for it, strive, persevere, and never take no for an answer.
That's a very powerful social impact.
Thank you. I spread it for her. She's told me, "You inspire me every day," and I'm like, "Why, Sabrina?" And she's like, "Because you're literally teaching me how to be self-sufficient, how to survive, and you inspire me because you're a role model for me." I tell her "Oh, I closed a sale today and I got myself this." I told her, because I treat myself to. I told her I got myself this, and she's like, "Oh, you're my inspiration. I want to be able to buy myself stuff like that too." And so that's kind of my social impact, to inspire other people with my story so that they can take action and grab life by the reins like I did.
Very cool. What type of internships? You just mentioned internships. What type of internships do you offer?
Yes. Okay. So anybody who's watching, if you want an internship, you're more than welcome to come. I offer different kinds of internships. So, for example, you could either do an internship, or you would just come to my home office in Wesley Chapel or my office in downtown, and we will do clerical work. Finding these products, proposals. Or if you're a people's person, you come with me to different events. And for example, like what I do with my girls, Olivia and Sabrina, is that we go to the networking events and we'll break up. So they go in one team and I go in another, and then you go to the events, you get business cards and make connections and try to get leads. A lead is a prospect or someone that has potential to buy. So if you're a people's person, we can do an internship like that. But if you're a more work-oriented person, you could do an internship where you're assisting me with the actual in-house work for these customers.
And how many, you said you have 2 offices?
Yeah, I have a home office in Wesley Chapel, which is my head, and I have an office. I have an office, it's like a part-time office in Harbor Island, in downtown, because one of my business partners lives there, so he has a spare. He has like 2 spare rooms, so I set that up as an office. And
very nice.
We work there sometimes.
And how many employees do you have now? Are you still a one-man show with internship, or do you have other employees?
Okay, right now, my mom and my dad are not employees, but they're independent contractors. I mean, I guess if you want to consider them employees because we work together, then yeah, but I don't consider them my employees because I don't want to get smacked through the face. And then I have 2 graphic designers, so 2 interns, and then I'm in the process of hiring a full-time quoting person. What I mean is that I need someone that is very good at making phone calls to factories and getting pricing on different products and just sitting at a desk crunching numbers all day. Like 4 employees.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And your company's what, a year old?
No, June 12th.
June 12th.
Yeah, operational since July 12th. So July to August, August to September. I'm bad at math. I know I'm a businessman, but I'm bad at math. July to August, August to September, September to October, 4 months.
Wow, that's very awesome. And Humberto, your story is quite impactful, and I hope that everybody today has learned a lot. I know I have. You are really a dynamic, amazing young man, and we hope only the best for you. Sorry for making you blush on camera, but your story really has been inspiring, and I hope others will take a lot from it for time to come. Do you have any last things before we wrap up?
Again, just because, I mean, probably the people that are looking at me right now, you guys probably think that I'm like, what I get all the time is that, oh, you're like a genius or something. And I'm like, no, I'm not. All I am is a man that had a need and has a need, and a man that recognized his problems and decided to face them and render victorious. That is all I am. I am no genius. I am no Superman, amazing entrepreneur, crazy person. I am a regular person just like you. You can do it. And if you want to, you can do it even better. So please, please pick up from your different experiences, open your eyes to your surrounding, and stop encroaching your life into this device here. Get active and you will succeed.
Humberto, that was an amazing story. Thank you so much for your time today. This has been Mrs. Stern, a teacher with Pasco eSchool. Join us again this afternoon at 1:30 as we have a writer speaking with us, and have an amazing day. Humberto, thank you again. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.